As the interest in FIFA 13 starts to fall, it's been yet another year of unfulfillment from EA. With the hype surrounding next-gen consoles and FIFA 14, it's no surprise to see the interest in FIFA 13 starting to decline. But how will this game be remembered by people in 5, 10, 15 years' time? The answer is it won't. Just like the previous 5 versions, FIFA 13 has been no more than a slight upgrade on FIFA 12, just like FIFA 12 was a slight upgrade on FIFA 11, and so on. No current gen FIFA game has any individuality towards it. The only differences are a few features, player transfers, and a marginally improved match engine. Despite the obvious discontent from the community, EA continue to break new sales records and push their marketing campaign to bigger heights. FIFA has become like Apple products. Everyone just assumes it's great and wants one because everyone else has one. The biggest grudge people have with EA is that they don't care about the customers. Reoccurring glitches, bugs, the game freezing amongst constant disconnections are problems which have existed for years in FIFA games. But EA generally turn a blind eye because they know they can get away with it. And it's not just the FIFA community that's unhappy with EA. Only recently, they were voted the worst company in America for the second year running. Probably a bit harsh, but it proved the discontent isn't just isolated to FIFA. Not so long ago, EA had a fierce competitor in Konami. Anyone who had PES 5 or 6 can tell you how fun they were. The current gen saw a massive shift in power between the two, and FIFA has cemented its place as the best footballing video game out there. And that's not opinion, that's just talking numbers. To put it into perspective, EA sold more copies of FIFA 13 in North America on release day than Konami have sold copies on the Xbox 360 to this day. It's a huge fall from grace for Konami. We even had the most popular face in world football snatched from them by EA only 2 years ago. And it isn't just coincidence that EA have overtook Konami. Producing a better game combined with a superior advertising campaign has meant that EA are out of sight, and the only real competitor they have now is the customer. Onto the actual game. FIFA 13 is a good game. The competitive challenges seasons, the cooperative nature of pro clubs, and the freedom of Ultimate Team alongside the offline game modes make for a fun game with a bit of longevity. Skill games are quite fun and kill some time, but EA really missed an opportunity in not making online leaderboards where you can compete against friends for high scores. You could say it's another example of EA not stretching themselves when we all know they can. But ultimately, all the good work put into the game modes are undone by inconsistent coding and game faults. For years now, EA have failed to sort out the massive emphasis on pace and physical attributes, and the random disconnects are still persistent. The animations and graphics have never been up there with the best games, and whilst that isn't what we play for, it'd be nice and would add that touch of realism if the animations were at least somewhat realistic. This year's E3 showed how far FIFA is behind every other game when it comes to graphics and character intelligence. I'll take just one small clip from the presentation of FIFA 14 at E3. Firstly, watch Dani Alves' feet. By all logic he should stumble over. He then whips in a cross, and even though he's getting nowhere near it, Diego Godin makes a strange decision to jump after the ball has gone past him, and then even still bends his neck to head the ball, despite it being way past him at this point. Now Xavi goes for the header, Iniesta and Juanfran are looking at the sky, and even Messi doesn't give a shit. Then Xavi magically heads the ball without even touching it, and of course it wouldn't be a FIFA clip if the goalie wasn't retarded. Considering this is a clip which is supposed to demonstrate change and boast improvements to the game, it doesn't really fill you with confidence. I understand that it's a very early build, and the finished product will be better, but if we've learned anything from EA, it's that we shouldn't get our hopes up for FIFA 14. It's without doubt that FIFA 14 and current gen and next gen will once again excel in sales, and David Rutter will continue to be filthy rich despite not putting in the effort we expect of a £40 game every year. The only thing that keeps a lot of us buying the game is our love for football, and Konami's incompetence means FIFA is the best football video game out there, and as long as it is, it will continue to make a lot of money. We can only hope for FIFA's sake that our competitor steps up, or EA decide not to continue to sell us mediocre, untested games.